Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff the Chef from the Dice Chef. Folks, I want to talk to you a few minutes. I want to talk to you about random, not really random shooting, control shooting. Some people don't believe that you can control the dice. I believe that you really can. If you throw at the same spot every time and the dice are tight, they hit the same spot, land on the table, hit the back wall, and then they come down and settle. I do believe that you can control it. I think you can control it to a certain extent that if you put a certain set on the dice, those numbers will come up as you throw them. I really truly believe that. You can't do it 100% of the time, but you can do it a percentage of the time. I don't know what the percentage is, and that's what I want to do today. I'm going to throw 100 times, and I'm going to use a set 4 and 10. You don't hit those numbers that much, the 4 and the 10. So I'm going to use only the 4 and 10 dice set. This is one of them I'm going to use. That's a V2. That's going to be on top. And the 4 behind you. And then in front of me is going to be the 6-4. And at the bottom is going to be the 10. Hard 10. So the reason why I'm saying this because, it's just like being an athlete. And I train like an athlete when I throw the dice. When you play basketball, and I was a basketball player, and I used to shoot free throws as well as jump shots all the time. But let's say you shoot a free throw. You at the same spot, you aim for the same spot, your feet are spread apart, and you at the free throw line. And you bend down, you come up, and you extend your arms and you release the ball. You repeat that 100 times. One day, and then you do it again the next day, and then the next day. So 7 days out of the week, that's 700 free throws. That's 700 free throws. Your arm begin to remember your form and become muscle memory. It's the same thing with throwing the dice. If you throw the dice over and over and over and over again, your arm begin to have muscle memory. I'm going to do the pendulum today. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to use the 4 and 10 set. But this is my landing zone. I want you to watch the dice and see, do I hit this landing zone right up in here every time I throw the dice. And then I want you to watch how the dice will hit the back wall, settle, and a lot of them don't come past this line, and a lot don't come past this line. This is the line I don't want them to come past, but I prefer them don't come past this line. But this, it'll be fine if they do it, come to this line. If they come out further, I believe that it's not a very, very good throw. As you throw the dice, and the dice are solid and they tight in the air, you have control until it hits the table. Once it hits the table and bounce to the back wall and hit the diamond shape, it becomes random. But if you throw it softly, it won't have a lot of momentum on the dice. So I'm through talking, finished talking, and I'm going to throw the dice 100 times, and I'm going to see how many times I hit the 4 and 10 and see what kind of percentage I come up with. If I hit the 4 and 10 at least 20% of the time, both of them, so that's like 40%. If I hit both of them 20% apiece, that's really, really good, and that's called control. compared to a random shooter. And then I'm going to do a demonstration of random. I'm going to do 100 times. And I'm going to put the same set. Matter of fact, I'm not going to put a set on there at all. No set. I'm just going to grab them, shake them, and throw them down the table. I want to see how many numbers and what numbers comes up the most. All right, let's start it. And I'm going to do it quickly. And then I'm going to look at my sheet that I created, the spreadsheet. It's going to tell me the percentage and everything. And I will demonstrate that and show you that sheet also. All right, here we go. Pendulum throw. You have 3 fingers on top so lightly, and your thumb like so, your fingers, and you take the dice and you come back just a little and you toss and you release. You release at the top of your hand that's straight and your arms are straight. And here we go. First throw. Matter of fact, that's a 4. Right off the bat, that's a 4. Do a 4 set. And all I'm doing is 4 and 10 sets. That's all I'm doing. I want to see how many. That's an 8. Four and 10 set. See how nicely they hit the table. Look at that. Look at this. It didn't come past that line. That's controlling. And controlling is hitting that same spot. That's control. That's called control shooting. I mean, a lot of people don't believe, and some really do believe. I believe it is control. And if I see somebody comes up and throw the dice at the same spot in landing zone, and it lands so nicely, I'll bet on them. That's a 3. There's another 4. Very nice. There's an 8. Came out the 8. The 6 came out a little bit too far over in the corner. Didn't like that too much. Very nice throw. Came out too far, but it is a 4 again. That's 3 4s. I think in 8 throws. There's a 9. I didn't like how that one rolled. It hit the corner and rolled all the way over. Didn't like that. What you want them to do is hit flat. The dice to hit the table flat. And every time you hear the dice hit flat, you will hear a sound like they're clapping. That's the sound, like they're clapping your hands. Or maybe hitting a woman's naked booty. It does sound that way. No disrespect, but it does sound like that. It really does. You listen to the table when the dice hit them, and it's flat, not hitting the edge of the dice, Oh, it's a solid sound. Look at that. Hard 10. Look at that. Hard 10. And like I said to everyone, I'm telling you, I'm throwing this a 10-4 set. Oh, that was a beautiful throw. Look at the dice. Look. That's called control. Hit flat, land soft, hit the back wall. I mean, that's good stuff. Didn't like that one, but it hit a hard 10 again. Look at that. Hard 10. Yes, indeed, folks. And then I'm going to do an experiment on the 6 and 8 as well as the 5 and 9. I'm going to do a 5-9 set and a 8-6 set. There's a 7. That's my first 7. And what control shooting is about also is manipulating to stop from hitting the 7. That's what it is. Manipulate the dice. The 7 is going to come sooner or later. You can't stop it, but you can manipulate it where it won't come on a regular basis. And that's what you call control. A lot of people think when you say control shooting is setting the dice to a certain set and you're going to hit those numbers on a consistent basis. No, it doesn't work that way. There's a 6. And every time I hit a 4 and 10, I'm going to pause it so you can see that number. Very nice toss. That's a 5. I didn't like how they spent around. I think they had so much more momentum on them. I think that's the reason why they spent around. They spent around a little bit too much. But it's all right. And everyone, this is how I practice. In 5 years, I've probably thrown the dice probably over 500,000 times. Oh, that was a beautiful throw. There's a 7. Even though the 7 came, and it was close to the wall, and it didn't come past that line, that's control. Even though the 7 came, that's control. And I'm just trying to stop from throwing the 7. That's what I'm trying to do, and hit some 4s and 10s. I just want to get a nice little percentage of how many times I really hit that out of 100 throws. And it'd be a true percentage. Look at that. Look how they dice are so close together like they're kissing. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Here it is. Look at that. That's another 4. And folks, I've never done this before. I've never done where I'm seeing how many setting a certain set and how many numbers that's on the set comes up. I've never done this before. This is my first time doing this. Never thought about really doing it. There's a 5. But me and a friend of mine, special, my friend named John, I told him I was going to do this, and he said that's a great idea. One thing that another friend of mine, Mr. Leo always told me to keep the same set when I throw, when we're at a casino. Because if you have that set, those certain numbers is going to come up on the dice. I didn't believe that to a certain extent, so that's why I'm doing this experiment. Because I'll get the dice back from the dealer, and if I like the set of what two numbers are up on top of the dice, I throw it. And I think, that I'm confident in throwing it that way because I think those are good sets. But like I said, this is an experiment I'm doing. And you are watching it with me and doing it with me. There's a 9. And the main thing, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do 2 things. One, I'm trying to manipulate the dice where 7 will not show up so much. Then I'm trying to manipulate the dice to bring up the 4 and 10. I want to see what is the percentage. That was not a very good throw. It hit the corner of the dice. You heard it sound very dull. Even though it was a 3, a 2, 1. Very dull sound when that happens. And you can hear the difference where it hits the table flat or hit the edge of the dice. Like I said, it's like a clap of hands, like that. That came out too far. See how far that came? That came out way too far, and it's a 7. That's because it was too much momentum. After it hit the back wall, it came on out. And what it probably did with these diamonds, it probably curved it some kind of way, hit the edge, and continued to roll. This one did not do that. All right, let's see, can we do a long roll without that 7 showing? Didn't like that. Another one. It was a short, it hit right here, it didn't hit right there. And that's why I really believe that it had a lot of momentum coming out here, that 6. Even though it's 11. Better throw, even though it hit the edge. I heard it hit the edge. That was a better throw though. And there's an 8. Look at the landing zone and throw. There's an 8. Two V, that's what I'm throwing a lot. 2V. Very nice. Very nice. Look at how they landed. That's a 1, 2. That's a 3. Very nice throw. That's a hard 6. Still, they came out a little bit too far. I changed the set, but it's still a 4-10 set. I got 3, 3, 6, 1, 4. It's still a 10 and 4 set. Very nice. There's a snake eyes. Everyone, look at the dice. Look at the dice, how they land. And who throws really good is George from CY. He throw this pendulum really nice. I mean, he really does. He practiced a lot. 1 trailed, and I didn't like that. But even though they landed pretty good, soft. That was a 5, 3. That's an 8. Back up. Very nice. See how they landed? Close to the wall. That's a 6, a 2, 4. This is another 10-4 set. It's 6, 5, 4, 4, 5. But it's still, see that? It's still that 10 set. Let me show you. I want you to take a look at the landing zone and the dice hit there at the proper landing zone and watch it hit the back wall. That came out too far, way out too far, but it's an 8, a 3, 5. Any 10-4 set on the dice is fine. That was nice. It's a 7 though. I like the way it hit. It's a 7, a 2, 5-2. But we threw quite a few numbers without the 7 coming. We did. All right, let's do it again. Let's start all over. I'm going to count it this time and see how many numbers I throw before the 7 comes up. The big red. The number we don't like once we establish a number. 7 come out. So that's a good 7. That was a 2-5. Okay, here we go. Let's see how many numbers we can throw. There's the first one. There it is, a 5. See how they're close to the wall? Very nice. Very nice. That's 1. Nice, soft grip, back, up. There's 11. That one came out too far. Didn't like that. That was a 5. 5, 6. That's 2. 3. That's a 9. That was a 4, 5. It flipped. Landing zone. Beautiful tight. 7. That was about 4 throws, folks. That wasn't too many. And I didn't like that. When they just do 3 or 4 rows, I'm not happy. That was only 3 rows, and then the 7 appeared. All right, let's try to get that 7 off the dice. Let's see, can we do 20 throws and keep that 7 off the dice? Very nice. Came out too far, but we got an 8, a 3, 5. And I don't want to speed up, because if you speed up, it takes away from your concentration. But I want to hurry up and try to get these 100 throws in so I can show you exactly the percentage. Nice. There's a 6. It was a 2, 4. And it's going to show you exactly the percentage of the 6 with this set, the 8, the 7, the 5, the 9. I'm going to do a nice little graph for you. That was a nice throw. That's a 5. That was a 4, 1. I really like this set. It's a 4, 5, 1, 5. Very nice set, but I'm going to be consistent and continue to do the 4, 10 set. I really want to throw that. That's why I said 5. I really want to throw that set, but I'm going to be consistent. There's a 9. And look and see how many times the 2 dice stay behind that line. And I'm going to point that line out to you as soon as I throw this throw. That's the line I'm talking about, this line right here. See how many times both dice are behind this line. There's an 8. There's a 2, 6. Back a little. Up. Oh, they're hitting the dice. They're hitting the table so nicely, man. They go a 5, a 3, 2. It clap your hands, and that's how it sounds when it hits the table. And that's the sound you're looking for. You want that sound. Back. Very nice. And there's a 7. You see that? But they still was behind that line. It's called manipulation. The 7 is stubborn, though. The 7 said, no, I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. You can't stop me from showing up. You have 6 ways to hit that 7. 6 ways compared to 3 ways to hit the 4 and the 10. So it equals out, because both of them are 6. If you combine the 10 and the 4 together, it's 6 combinations. There's a 6. Now let's see, can we do some good stuff and roll 20 rows without that bad 7 coming up? Let's see, can we do that? I think we can. Here we go. Very nice. Snake eyes. Mr. Snake. Another thing that I want to introduce you to is a 2-row Charlie and a 3-row Charlie. I don't like those. I call it a 2-row Charlie because it just sounds so good. And that's called a 0.7. You get your point and then 7 behind it. It's called a 2-row Charlie. And then I use it as a 3-row Charlie too. Those two I don't like. I don't like them in the casino. I try to lock the door on them and keep them outside. While I'm practicing, I do the same thing. Very nice. 6. They came out too far, but they came out together the same. So you know your dice are together and they landing together when that happens. When they are together and they do that, I'm telling you, you're throwing really well. Control shooting is about manipulating the dice to prevent the 7 from showing up so much. There it is, a 7. I talked it up. Look at that. But they came out really far. I didn't like that. 1, 6. And that 7 right there, for some reason, it comes up on my dice more than any other. I can't explain it, but it does. That 1, 6, I could probably do the hops on that 1, 7 and probably make some money. Landing zone, boom. There you go, hard 6. That one came out a little bit too far. Didn't like that. Hard 6. And I think I'm rushing too fast too. I need to concentrate. Concentrate. There go to 7. Didn't like that. I think that was a 2-row Charlie, matter of fact. And that's what I was talking about. Yep, it was. It was a 2-row Charlie. I just talked about the 2-row Charlie and I talked him up. Ain't that about something? I talked him up. Okay, I'm going to lock him outside the door now. He ain't coming back until maybe tomorrow. Beautiful throw. Oh, look at that. That's a 10. And look at the dice. I mean, seriously, look at the dice. They right side by side pretty much equal to each other. That's what you call a really good throw. And that, you want to do that consistent. That's what you want to do. You want to do that consistent. And how do you do that consistent? You practice over and over and over and over again. Nice. Look at that. They did it again. That's consistency. That's a 3-2. I mean, a 2-1, 3. And that's what you want. You want to do that over and over and over again. I get so excited when I'm throwing very well like this. And you see how my dice, they came out of my hand. They came out of my hand because I hold them so lightly. Look at that. There's a 4. Look at this. Look at that. Look how nice that is. That is so nice. That was a 3-1. That's a 4. So we're doing pretty well on this throw. I'm going to throw the same set that's on the dice. It's a 3-5-1-5. Here we go. Nice back, a little bit up. And there's a 7. Oh, look at that. But look at the dice. That shouldn't have happened. All right, what I'm going to do now, since I can't get a long row, I'm going to be consistent and have one set on the dice. It's going to be the 3-6-1-4. And here it is right here. This is facing me. This is on top. This is in the back, and this is at the bottom. I'm going to do that for the remainder of my throws. I want to see what I can come up with. Even though I had nothing but the 4-10 sets on every throw, but I'm gonna be consistent and have the same exact set. Didn't like that one, but even though the 10 came, didn't like that one. One came out behind the other. I don't like that. It slipped out of my hand, and that happens. But you got to practice. You must practice this. If you want to get good, you must practice. or be consistent. And it's the same thing like being an athlete. You're playing basketball, pitching, same thing. Throwing the pitch wherever you want it. It's the same thing. And being a quarterback. Quarterback is the same thing. Beautiful throw. There's the 4. 1, and that's what I had set on the dice. Oh, 3, 1. Very nice. And I'm going to do the same set. I'm not going to change it. 3, 6, 1, 4. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to do consistency. Back, up, beautiful throw. There's an 8. They were tight together. Folks, if you're liking this video, please put the thumbs up. Comments, please send me some comments. Maybe you might have a good point on something. Maybe you might bring something to me that I'm not doing right. You know, I don't mind. I want help. I want help as much as I possibly can, like I'm helping everybody else, trying to make money on playing this nice crap game. This game is a wonderful game. And you can do this for a living. You really can. That was short. I didn't like that throw, but it's a 9. It's a 6-3. But I didn't like that throw. They came up short. And as you see how my dice are not being consistent, this is what I'm talking about. Some of it is not consistent. Some of it is. A lot of my throws are very consistent. And that's what you're looking for, consistency. That one was not a good throw. Even though the 10 showed up, that was not a good throw. There's that 10, a 4, 6. Okay, and that's my set. It's a 3, 6, 4, 1. Here we go. Very nice. I come back just a little bit, just a pinch. I look at my landing zone. Oh, that hit perfect at the landing zone. That was beautiful. Look, that landing zone was absolutely gorgeous. And they came not too far from the wall. It was an 8, a 2, 6. And it, like I said, I get so excited. I do. I really get excited when my throw is throwing very well. And I know when I'm in a groove. When I'm at a casino, I know that I'm in the groove. And then if I throw 30 times or 20 times or 12 times, I want the dice back. I'm in a groove now. But they don't come back to you. That one was a nice throw. It hit right where it's supposed to, but that dice came out too far. That's a 9, a 6-3. Like I said, my friend Mr. Leo, he's something else. I met him I'll say about 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. He's about 75 years old, and he can really throw some dice. He's been doing it, I think, 10 years, anywhere from 8 to 10 years. I think it's 10 years. And he does a good job on explaining things and how, the dice supposed to be tight. That's a hard 6. How they supposed to be tight together in the air. One time we went to a casino and he said, Jeff, your throw is good, but they not tight. You got to have your dice tight together. And I went home and worked at it. I really worked at making sure my dice are tight in the air. That was a nice throw. And there's a 3, 2, 1. Please leave me a comment, please. I would love it. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to put out some really good stuff. I'm going to tell you. And I'm trying to put out some really good stuff right now. There it is, a hard 4. Look at that. Look at the dice. Hard 4. That was nice. Right now we're on a nice little roll. I don't even want to count and say how many throws I've thrown so far. I don't even want to count it. I'll do it later. But I think we're on a nice little roll though. Look at that. Oh, snake eyes. They pity-patted. One was behind the other just a little bit. And that's not what you want. And you know what? I know I can throw better, but I'm trying to rush I'm really trying to rush through the video so I can make sure I show you the percentage. There's a 7. See, it came out too far. I was just talking about not rushing. And I was just talking about I hadn't hit the 7 in a while. And I'm going to tell you, I think we went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. When 11, let's try to pass that. I knew I hadn't threw that 7 in a while. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Back, landing zone. Beautiful land. There's the 4. Look at that. There's the 4. Look at that. I'm throwing the 4 and 10 quite a bit, folks, to be honest with you. We'll know when I finish, but I am throwing it. I'm throwing it pretty good. So I guess my friend Mr. Leo was right. Back, landing zone. That was too short, but look at that. Look at the dice. Hard 10. Look at that. It was a little short, but it did hit the landing right before the landing zone that I tell people to hit, or I hit. It was right before the landing zone. Make sure, another tip I'm going to give you. Landing zone, beautiful. Came out too far, and look at this. See, every time it come out too far, one came out too far, it's 7s. I'm telling you. And I'm going to demonstrate that in the video with I'm going to do a little editing on showing you about where the dice roll too far, and this one is not. And there's a 7. And that's my favorite one, 6-1. I want to tell you a few little tips too. Make sure your hands are not wet and sticky, because one dice will trail. If one of your fingers are sticky or your hands are sticky, it's not going to come out as good. That's one tip. Make sure that, and make sure your hands are not, I guess, slippery. Those two things, slippery and sticky, they got to be just right. Like right now, I'm holding the dice so soft that one keeps popping out. I mean, I have soft grip, a very soft grip. Landing zone, beautiful landing zone. There's a 5. That one came out a little bit too far. That was a 2-3. It's a 5. And like I said, I'm using the same set. 3-6, 1-4. That's what I've been doing for probably the last 30 throws. Nice. That was a perfect throw, folks. It hit the landing zone, landed, hit the wall. This one stopped. This one came out past my line that I don't like. It's right on the line, and that's why I think it's 7. If it would have stayed right behind this line or right here, I don't think it would have 7. And like I said, this is what you call manipulating. All you're doing is manipulating the dice so that you can stop throwing the 7 as much. You're going to throw that 7. The 7 is coming. You just want to try to prevent it. That's the big deal about controlling the dice. Same landing zone. Look at that. Very nice. And they're hitting the table flat. That's a 5-6. That's a 11. That's a yo. Now, if I was at a casino, I would take my time a little more. Just a little bit. Look at the landing zone. Throw. Nice. Nice. That one popped up too high because it hit so flat. That was a 6. 1-5. Okay, here we go. Love this game. And folks, I'm starting to go to cruises more. I used to go to Vegas maybe 4 or 5 times a year, go to Biloxi. But this is the first year I've been going on cruises. Up, nice. Came out a little bit too far. My first cruise was May the 14th. Then I did another one November the 14th. Wow, that's something. No, I think it's May the 20th, and then November the 15th, November the 14th. And then I did another cruise, matter of fact, this month, January the 9th. And I already set another one for March. I think it's March the 6th. Beautiful throw. 6. That one came out a little bit too far. And the reason why I'm starting to go on cruise lines is because I do a budget before I go. I find out how much it costs me to get to Vegas, how much is my meals. If I have to take an Uber and stuff like that, you know, I put that in my budget or my expense report. And let's say that you have an $800 expense before you even get to Vegas. Nice throw, beautiful throw. There was 6. You're already down $800. So you got to make the $800 back before you get a profit, start having a profit. And that happens with me quite a bit, not all the time. But on a cruise line, once you establish yourself on a cruise line, they start giving you free cruises. When I go to Vegas, I have comps where they comp my room. They comp my meals sometime. But on a cruise line, you have free meals. Back. Nice. There's a hard 4. That one came out too far, but there's a hard 4. There it is. So once again, I'm gonna tell you, once you establish yourself on a cruise line, you start to get a lot of different perks. This last cruise I went on, they gave me $500 spending money. I can do whatever I want with it. Of course, I gambled with it, and I made a profit. This last cruise, I did make some money. So when you're going on a cruise and you're not paying for your room, and you don't pay for your drinks, in Vegas you don't pay for your drinks or Biloxi. That's a 9. You almost start basically at 0. So any money that you make, you're making money. But when I first went, it cost me probably about $600 to go on a cruise for a weekend. And of course, I had to make that $600 back. Then I paid for parking, and the parking cost me, I think, $60. And so now I'm down $660 before I even started gambling. So I have to make that money back before I get a profit. So now, this next cruise coming up, they're giving me $750. And the cruise is free. There's a 4. Didn't like that throw, but there's a 4. Look at there, a 1, 1, 3, and that's what's on. I set on my dice. That's my set. So they're giving me, once again, $750. So my cruise is really free starting, and I don't have to buy food or anything. And that's a wonderful thing that you're starting off. As a matter of fact, I'm starting up $750. All I got to do is add on to that. Nice throw. Very nice. A 2-1. That's a 3. I know, folks, I'm getting close to the 100. I might have 25 more throws maybe. And I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit. And that might make me throw some 7s that I don't want. I'm going to try not to. But I'm going to try to hit the same landing zone. Back. I didn't like that. It almost slipped out of my hand. Back, up, landing zone. Nice. It turned off of the hard 6, but it's an 8. It's a 5, 5, 3. 5, 3. Same set. 3, 6, 1, 4. Same set, have not changed. A little back, landing zone. Oh, it's hitting the landing zone. Ah, 7. Here it is. Look at this. Look at that. 6-1. Folks, look at that. 6-1. I'm telling you, and you're going to see how many times I hit that 6-1. I'm going to put it on the screen on how many times I hit this 6-1. I hit that 6-1 like crazy for some reason, but I'm gonna hop it. I'm really gonna hop it when I go to the casino in March. I'm gonna hop that baby, and I might hop it every time I throw the dice. Coming out. There's a 9. That one came out too far. Another thing that I want to tell you that I have 3 different other grips. Sometimes you need to change your grip, I believe. Some people probably don't. I don't think George changes his at all. I don't think Cage, who does the chopper, and he does the chopper very well, he has mastered it. Nice. Box cars. I think that's my first box cars. That's very unusual because I'm supposed to hit that at least once in 36 rows, but I think that's my first box cars. But the main thing, I'm throwing 4s and 10s. I am throwing quite a few 4s and 10s. Do I know the percentage yet? No. But I will. And you will know too. Back. Landing zone. There's a 5. Look at that. Look at the dice. Ah, yes, indeedy. Look at the dice. That's a 4-1. And honestly, folks, I have a good time doing what I do. I have a good time bringing these videos to you. But I have fun. And when I go on a cruise, I'm going to do a little bit more recording. That's 11. Now that dice went to the side, both of them. I did not like that dice. That means they hit the edge. I will do a little bit. I can't do a session. They won't let me do a session yet. But hopefully one day they'll let me do a session while I'm on the cruise. That would be really nice. But I'm going to walk around the ship and show you the amenities and what they have to offer. If you've never been on a cruise line, up, beautiful, beautiful. There's a 9. That's a 6-3. It's coming along very well. And what I was trying to do, folks, that something happened to my other little camera over there. I don't know what happened, but I was trying to show you my grip as well as my throw. That's what I was trying to do. And some kind of way it cut off. I don't know why it cut off. Back, up, nice throw. And there's a 5. What I'm going to do real quick, folks, I'm going to try to put this camera back on. Bear with me. And let me see, can I get this to work? Okay, I got it going again. So it's going to be probably half of it will probably be with me throwing and setting and stuff like that. That was a 3-2. Because I want to show you my throw, and I want to show you the set that I'm using and everything. I want to show you that. And that's with the other camera. But I'm going to show you again. Here's my set. This is on top. This right here is in front of me. This is in back. And this is at the bottom. And like I said, I'm doing the pendulum throw, the 3 fingers at the very top, and you hold them so lightly. Back and throw. Nice landing zone. There's the snake eyes. I've thrown the snake eyes maybe 3 or 4 times. Once again, I'm going to show you my set again. On top, in front of me, in back of me, and at the bottom. This is the set I'm throwing, and I've been throwing this set for probably the last 40 throws. It's all about consistent. Beautiful throw. There's a 6. Look at the dice. Very nice. It was a 5-1. It's all about consistent. That's my definition of control. It's consistency, landing zone, proper grip, and same mechanics. That's what I call control. I don't call control hitting a certain number. Nice. There's 11. I think that some people might think that control is hitting certain numbers. Another thing, again, is trying to stop from throwing the 7 so much. Staying away from the 7. That's what manipulating and controlling the dice is. Controlling how high you throw them, your landing zone. Those are the things you want. Look at that. That was a 2, 2, 3. That's a 5. And this is what my definition is. It might be some other people have other definition of, having being a control shooter. That might be true. And I would like to hear that. If somebody has other definition of what a control shooter is, or can the dice be manipulated and controlled? There's a 10. That one came out too far, but I like it because it's a 10. Please don't hesitate to put the comment down there that this is another definition of control. We, as professional craps players, we have a lot of information, but it's always more information out there to try to get an edge on the casino. There's an 8. Because what you want to do is make money. I don't think nobody that's doing this wants to lose money. You have some people that comes for the first time. I've seen a lot that they're not trying to make money. They're just trying to have fun. They drinking a little bit and they just having fun. Especially when I go to Vegas, people out there having fun. They have no idea what the game is about, and they just having a good time. Look at that. That's a 6. Look at that. Look how they lined up that way, and they so close to the wall. Look at that. That's a beautiful throw, and that's called controlling the dice. Seriously. And if you see and watch my dice and how they landing and how they up against the wall and they don't come past that line that I talk about, that's control. That is really control. And like I said, I'm going to do another video of random. I'm just going to throw the dice. I'm not going to throw the dice that hard, but I'm going to throw the dice without no set on it. And I'm going to see the difference and how many times we come up with certain numbers. That came out too far, both of them. But see, when they both come out like this so far, and they're almost the same width, parallel apart, and they just like that, that's what I want, because I know they both hitting the table at the same time, hitting the back wall, and they both coming out with the momentum the same, an action that they have off the wall. I like that, because 90% it won't be a 7. It will not be a 7 90% of the time if that happens. But if one dice come by itself and keep rolling, it's going to be a 7 for me. And I'll say 90% of the time it will be a 7. And 90% of the time it's going to be that 6-1. Here we go. Back. Nice. Landing zone. There's a 6 again. Look at the dice. Look at these dice. I want you to judge my dice. I really do. I want you to say, hey, yeah, you got your dice close to the wall. No, you don't have your dice close to the wall. No, the dice is not tight in the air. I want you to comment. I really like comments, because it doesn't do nothing but educate me. It don't offend me in any kind of way. It educates me. That's all it does, to get better. Because I want to get better and better and better to give you more information. There's an 8. I didn't like that. They hit the edge. That's why they went to the corner. They hit the edge of the dice, both of them. So I know the landing zone wasn't good. That means that the dice probably wasn't held right, or they didn't come out my hand right. And see, these things I know. I pay attention. I really pay close attention of my dice, my hand, my grip, my arm extension, coming back, landing zone, Now that was a beautiful throw. I concentrated on that one, really concentrated on that one. They both was tight in the air and everything. What I'm going to do also, I'm going to do a couple of slow motion ones that I'm going to do so you can see the dice and how they're so tight together. And, you know, I respect so many of you out there that's teaching this game, this craft. Oh my goodness, there's so many of us out there that knows what they're doing. Craps Nation. I got to join Craps Nation. That's a beautiful throw. And there's a 7. That one didn't hit the wall. And that's the reason why I think it's 7. I want both of my dice to hit the wall. I don't want the dealers to ever tell me, hit the back wall, hit the back wall. I don't want that. Like I said, I'm going to join Craps Nation. I haven't yet, but that's something I would like to do. And I hope they welcome me into their club. I think it's a very powerful club. I've been following them and stuff like that. I think they are powerful club. And you think about if they get together and go to the casino at the same time and they throw, what happens? You make money. Somebody going to have a nice roll. That's a 2-6. That's an 8. Somebody going to have a monster. I really believe a monster roll out of all those professional throwers and how they manipulate the dice and control the dice and how they, you know, bet and how their strategies are. I mean, you know, being around a group of people that know what they're doing is fantastic. And you know, the more people on the table that know what they're doing, the more money you're supposed to make. That was a 2-4. No doubt. And I go and observe. I observe shooters. I look at them. I look at what set they throw on. I look at what landing zone they throwing. I look at them. And it makes it where I know I'm comfortable on betting with them because the Dominator, that was a nice throw. That was tight. The Dominator always say you lose more money betting on other people than you do yourself. So he has his 5 count. And I use it sometimes, the 5 count. Excellent little strategy. And a lot of times, I'll tell you 70% of the time, I'll make money off of them by doing the 5 count. About 70% of the time. So that's a nice little strategy that Dominator come up with. Nice, tight, 6. Land like that. Beautiful stuff. And I don't know if you can tell in my voice that I'm very excited about this. I'm excited about teaching people, showing people, learning. I'm very excited about this. Another guy that I really like a lot and respect, Jacob. Jacob is something else. Jacob has some good stuff, especially with the 7, 6, and 8. Watch his video about the 7, 6, and 8. Very nice.
Okay, everyone, finally finished 100 throws, but I would like for you to look at the chart carefully. I was using a 4-10 set, and I hit the 4 10 times, that's 10%, and I hit the 10 7 times, that's 7%. But combining, they're 17%. And if you notice, I hit the 7 15%. I hit the 6 16%. So I hit that the most. But if you do the percentage of 36 throws, the 7 supposed to come up 6 times. And so that's like 16 point something percent. With the 4 and 10, it's the same percentage. If you add them together, it's 6 times that you throw this 4 and 10 and 36 throws. So it equals out. But if you look at my chart, I did the 4 and 10 17 times and the 7 15 times. So the 10 and 4 beat the 7. So that's it for this 100 throws. So like the channel, please subscribe to my channel. Like the video, please do the thumbs up. Another thing, I would love comments. Please give me your comments about the 100 throws that I just did. Thank you very much.